What's going on, guys? It's a near 25 here, and it has been quite a long time since our last episode of our Minecraft adventure. So, before we get started today, I just want to give you guys a little rundown on where I've been, what's been going on, and everything. Oh my goodness, excuse me, guys. So, the last episode that we did, the day of, I wasn't really feeling like 100%, but like at the same time I wasn't feeling terrible, so like I just thought nothing of it when obviously I recorded and everything, went about my day. Well, the next day when I woke up, which was my birthday, funnily enough, at least I'm pretty sure, I hope I have the dates right, because I said that with straight confidence in my Kirby video, but maybe I was wrong. Oh, I was wrong. Oopsies! Okay, so I'm actually full of shit. I remember. That week, so the rest of that week, because I'm pretty sure that was going into a weekend, was it not? Yeah, it was literally going into the weekend. So that weekend I was busy. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to clear that up when I record my next Kirby video. That's so freaking funny. Anyways, that weekend I was busy. But then, so the Monday when I woke up on Monday, on the 8th, I wasn't really feeling the best. Like, I thought I could have recorded, but like, I wasn't really feeling, like, I wasn't feeling crappy, but I wasn't feeling good, if that makes sense. So I was like, whatever. I was like, I'll just chill today, whatever, go about my, just not really go about my day, but like I'll just relax and chill out, whatever. Well, the next day after that, which was my birthday, I woke up sicker than crap, and that knocked me out for basically a whole week. And then the following week I was feeling a little bit better, but actually not a little bit better. I was feeling like 100% better, but my sinuses were still really like bugging the crap out of me, like almost making me feel like I was sick, at least as far as like my head was concerned. But like I wasn't. It was just annoying, but like it was enough to like make me feel like bleh, and obviously the week that I was sick I slept like crap. Aiden, you always sleep like crap. Yes, I know, but like when I'm sick it's even worse. And obviously due to that I was like knocked out pretty much the whole next week too, just because of how tired I was. And then the week after that, like, my depression really ramped up. Like, it went, like, Super Saiyan mode on me, kind of out of nowhere. Like, without warning. So, like, I couldn't even, like, try to, like, prepare myself to, like, guard against it or, like, protect myself from it. Like, it just kind of hit me like a tidal wave. And, that's kind of just been where I'm at for the remaining like week and a half or 2 weeks, however, week and a half I think it would be, after like my sickness and everything was just, I've been just stuck in depression mode. But I went near the end of last week, going into the weekend kind of, and because it wasn't like super hot in my area, it was just it was warm, but it wasn't like like blast furnace heat or anything like that. And so I went, just me and my music, because I figured getting some sun would be a good idea. So I went, just me and my music. I went and walked around a couple parks. Spent like probably 3-4 hours. Maybe not, that's probably no exaggeration. 2 or 3 hours probably, I think I spent out walking around parks and stuff, just feeling the sun, feeling the breeze, listening to my music down by the water and everything. Trying to do some soul searching, trying to find myself again, try to, tap back into myself, and try to get myself, somewhat back on track and everything. And it worked a little bit, I think. I'm feeling a little bit better. Like, I'm feeling pretty good today, and I felt pretty good yesterday, too. And obviously, yesterday was, well, yesterday, as of the day of this recording anyway, it was bowling day. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. And then And I bowled pretty good. I mean, I should have done a lot better than I did, but at the end of the day, I also really can't complain about how I shot for the night because I did shoot really good. I shot a 604. So, I can never complain when I shoot a 600. I mean, I always find a way to because at the end of the day, they always could be better. And I know somebody's going to say, well, Aiden, a 300 is a perfect game. So if you're not shooting that, it obviously could always be better. And you're right. And I need to stop looking at it like that. Like, which is how I do look at it. But, or I mean, I should say I should start looking at it like that instead of the way that I look at it. But I look at it as, like, to me, if I'm not able to shoot a really high, like, obviously I know I'm not gonna, I haven't even shot one 300 in my life, so I know that that's not necessarily good. Let me go, we'll get into that talk when I start actually playing, because that's the while I'm playing talk. But yeah, so I shot a 604. I'm feeling pretty good, so I figured, you know what, I'd jump into and I woke up this morning feeling pretty good, so I was like, I haven't recorded in almost a month. I need to record, get back on track. So here we are. And we're going to be going back through our cave more today. I have no idea, to nobody's surprise, where the frick I'm at for a multitude of reasons. One, because it's been almost a month, and two, because I just don't know where I'm at in general, because, we're in a cave. And we all know I don't know anything about finding my way around caves. But yeah, we're gonna start checking out more of this place today and see what we can find. Okay, my gamma is on. That's good. I don't remember like anything. Okay, so obviously we've gone this way, or at least we've started to, and it looks like did we finish this way? Oh no, there's a lot more. Okay. Oh yeah, there's a lot more. Okay, I'm gonna keep going this way first. I think that's gonna be a good place to start. We are winding down, though. Obviously, we're on our countdown to the end of this season, which is obviously as bittersweet as it always is. But at the same time, it's also super exciting because that means we're getting one step closer to Minecraft Generations starting, which I'm so stoked for. So, but yeah, so anyway, so back about to the bowling mental confidence and state thing. So, like, obviously, like, I know that since I haven't even thrown a 300 before in my life, that, it's, I can definitely improve a lot because, that is the epitome of a perfect, that is a perfect game in bowling is a 300. And obviously you can take that a step further as well and get a perfect series, which is a 900, because you get 3 games of 300, that's 900, so perfect series. Obviously, again, that's like really freaking rare and really freaking hard to do. And obviously, I don't go into my league nights or any time that I'm bowling for that matter, even if it's just for practice or for a tournament or whatever. I don't go into those instances thinking I'm going to shoot a 300 a day, or like if I don't shoot a 300 a day, I'm going to be pissed off at myself and like I suck at bowling because I didn't bowl 300 today or anything like that. Because I know that that's not realistic for me. Right? I mean, because like I said, I haven't even thrown one in my life yet, so I shouldn't be expecting to. I mean, I've come close on a handful of occasions. Like, I've thrown the front 7 numerous times. And I've even thrown the front 6 a couple times as well. Recently, even. But, obviously, you need 12 strikes to bowl a 300. 7, 6, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many you get in a row if it's not 12. In the same game, obviously. I should probably mention that too, because they don't carry over, unfortunately. I kind of wish that was a thing too, though. Like, if you bowl 12 in a row, even if it is like, you know, a wraparound or whatever, that you still get 300. Because I think regardless of that, it's still an achievement. But obviously, that I guess that doesn't necessarily make the most sense. So I get it, but it would be kind of cool nonetheless. But anyways, but yeah, so but it's like, you know, and I'm obviously going to be the first person to say that I'm not that good of a bowler, right? Like, I would say that I'm probably an average bowler at best, right? But at the end of the day, I know what I'm capable of shooting. And when I don't do that, I get upset with myself and I get mad. Which probably isn't the best thing either, because it doesn't fix anything, but I don't like not being able to do what I know I'm capable of doing. And that goes for like every aspect of life for me, not just bowling. It was this, like, you know, school, work. It doesn't matter what it is. If I know that I have a certain skill set or skill capability to, you know, like, to do something, and I'm not able to perform that task or that thing to the ability that I know I'm capable of, I get upset with myself, which again isn't good, and I know I shouldn't do that, but I've been like that my whole entire life, so I don't think that's gonna change anytime soon, unfortunately. Not without like very, very, very disciplined, like, you know, retraining of the mind, which I don't have. I'll be flat out honest with everybody, I don't. And I'm so jealous of people that do, to be honest, because it's like, I wish I could frickin' just reprogram my mind just because, like, everybody else can, but nonetheless. But, you know, the thing that makes me mad is like, you know, for example, last night, or, well, actually, no, not last night. I actually was pretty good with my 10 pins last night. But I did miss a couple. I missed, like, 2 10 pins that I left last night. 1 pin spares. I don't really care, like, what your skill level is, unless you're literally just going to bowl with your friends to, like, you know, go have fun and dick around and have a good night. You know, just have fun hanging out with people. And, like, you don't actually bowl for real. 1 pin spares, like, you have no excuse for missing them. And, like, because they do matter. Believe me. A couple Thursdays ago, on my doubles league, the team that I was bowling okay, that's cool. I didn't even see you fall down. The team that I bowled against, they were out of town for a tournament that a bunch of the house bowlers at my bowling center go to every once in a while. Like, they usually all go to tournaments and stuff like that. And so it was a nationals, it was the nationals tournament, or maybe it's I don't know if there's multiple. But anyway, it was a nationals tournament that they went to. So they pre-bowled, because they obviously, you know, for our league, so that they, you know, they wouldn't just flat out miss out on the, you know, on the points or whatever. And this particular night, my partner wasn't able to be there, so I bowled by myself, because you're allowed to do that on a doubles league because there's only 2 of you. So if you're down 1 bowler, you still have 1 bowler, and you just use the, you know, the other person's average. And now the people that we were bowling against, way better than me, my partner and I are, like 100%. So we got a lot of pins of handicap, like a lot of pins of handicap. And I bowled like absolute crap in the first game, but they must have had an off first game themselves, because I still won by like 60 pins or whatever. But the fact that I was getting given like 100 some odd pins, like, so they theoretically had to bowl against 3 people. I mean, granted, like I said, my partner wasn't actually there, but irregardless of that, you know, theoretically speaking, they had to bowl against 3 people because we were getting 100 pins of handicap. And I only won by 60 pins because of how bad I bowled. But the next game, I pulled my head out of my ass, and I bowled really good, but obviously they bowled a lot better also. And we lost by 16 pins. I shot a 199, so I mean, you know, that's a very solid game. But the reason why I was super, super mad at myself, on top of the fact that I was still livid about the first game being a 150, but the thing that made me mad is I had missed a 7-pin earlier in that second game. So I opened for that frame. And then my next frame, I had an 8 count on my first ball. For those of you that don't know, like, bowling at all, or like bowling math or anything like that, a spare gives you 10 pins on top of your next ball. So if you get a spare and you throw a strike, that gives you 20 pins. And then obviously, you know, if you get a 9 count, 19 pins, you guys can work out the rest from then down, I'm sure. And so if I would have made that, you know, that 7-pin and gotten my spare, I would have gotten 18 pins. I have never seen that happen before. Have you guys? A freaking spawner just on a cliff like that? I've never seen that before. What the heck? That's so crazy. And they can't even get out because of that either. That's so funny. I thought they were riding on each other's backs for a second, but then I realized he just stood on top. That's so wacky. I've never seen this before. Sorry guys, that just really threw me for a loop there. First time for everything, I guess. That's why I love this damn game. Have I just been leaving the bread in the... I think I have. Oh well, it doesn't matter. But yeah, like I was saying, that would have given me 18 pins. So I would have most likely won that, or well, not most likely. I mean, granted, technically it's most likely because I don't know. I wouldn't have known how I was going to shoot for the rest of the game. But I technically would have won that game by 2 pins. And that also means that I would have won all 7 points for the set, because I would have won both games, which also coincidentally would mean that I won totals. I mean, my partner and I are in like way last place because she hasn't bowled in forever, and I don't really care much about the summer leagues. Like I just use them as practice basically, and to keep my body loose for the fall. So like I don't really care where we're at, like in the standings, whatever, but like it still would have been nice. Like it just sucks that like I lost the points just because, you know, I missed a 1-pin spare. And like that's the stuff that gets me mad when I bowl. Like even like last night, I shot a 225 last night in the second game. And that's really good, especially for me. Like that's a good game just in general, but like for me, that's like a really good game. But at the same time, like, well, actually, you know what? I don't think I actually had any opens in that game. I think I actually did bowl a clean game that game. I just wasn't able to get stuff to carry for strikes, which was making me mad also, but that's something different. That's not necessarily a skill thing. It is, though, at the same time. Like, I just need to get better at bowling. But that's not always necessarily a skill thing, because sometimes you can throw a great ball, and it'd be like the best ball you'd thrown of the whole night, and you don't carry a strike, you leave something. Which those ones really aggravate the soul when that happens. But that was the main problem I was having last night in that second game. But in the first game, like, you know, well, actually, you know what? In the first game, I shot a 191, which also is very good, even for me. And I had 2 opens only, but they were both splits, and they were, like, impossible splits. So, like, there wasn't really much I could do about that necessarily, but, you know, it is what it is. But in the third game, I only shot a 188, and I was getting very aggravated because I wasn't striking, which that's just annoying in and of itself. But I also was getting a lot more opens. Like, I was missing stupid spares that I had no freaking business missing. I was getting so irritated. And, like, even at the end, in the 10th frame of that game, I struck on my first ball, which, you know, that's great. And then I'm like, okay, cool. I throw my next ball. It didn't strike. I'm like, all right, whatever. And I left something I had no business missing. That's for sure. But I missed it by like a mile. And I was like really, really pissed off at the time because I thought I threw my 600 away. Because, you know, heat of the moment, I'm not really, like, you know, doing quick math to put my totals together for the night at that point in time. So I thought I thought I needed at least the first 2, or at least, you know, the first one and then a spare to get my 600. And obviously I got the first one, so I'm like, okay, cool. But then when I missed my spare, I was like, I think that cost me my 600, so I was like hella pissed off about that too. But then I was the scorekeeper last night, so I did the scorecard. So once I got back from bowling my 10th, I totaled my stuff up and I realized I shot my 604. So I calmed down a little bit, but it's still the principal fact of the matter that I should have and could have done a lot better. Like, not even counting the fact that I wasn't carrying strikes, just the fact that I was missing all my spares. Or not all of them, but I was missing a lot of them. Like, the fact that I could have done a lot better than I did, like, that always makes me so mad when I'm bowling. But we did good. I mean, it sucks that we didn't take all 7 points. We lost the first game by like 3 pins. And obviously, like, I can't really put it on myself. That's another problem I have when I'm bowling. Like, I always put, like, if we lose or whatever, I'll, like, most oftentimes put it on myself, even though I'm not bowling alone. And, like, you know, all of us technically could have done better than we did. But I was mad in the first game because I threw my first ball in the 10th, the first game I struck. Second one, I didn't carry a 7-pin, which I had been struggling on doing all night in general anyway, carrying 7 pins for the most part. Like, if I was leaving anything, unless I, like, really messed up myself. Like, if it was a good ball and I left something, it was a 7-pin. If I messed something up, then it was God only knows. I don't really want, you know, this is crazy for me to say. I don't want to go for these diamonds because they're all the way up in the roof, and we don't need diamonds. Like, even without fortune, this cave has been so diamond rich. I have so many diamonds back at the base camp. It's freaking unreal. Okay, so I think if I go back up this way, it takes us back to some torches where we've already been. But that's okay, because hopefully it'll also lead us to somewhere that we haven't been. But yeah, so at the end of the day, like, I still did good. I mean, I averaged, like, 201 for the night with that 604. So, I mean, why is there blocks built up there? Which, you know, that's Oh, okay. I know where we're at. Okay. Which, you know, that's a phenomenal night for me. I mean, that's so far that's well, my average going into last night was 180, and realistically I would say realistically that is what I am now. I think I realistically can maintain a 180 average, which is higher than the last like 2 years that I've had, which were like both in the 170s, like 175-ish, something like that. So I absolutely will take, you know, that, you know what I mean, and so that's 21 pins higher than, oh shit, I lost my shield, I wasn't paying attention. That's 21 pins higher than, you know, like what my average is, right? So like that's definitely, for it, like the individual night, that's not a bad night at all. And even with shooting that high, my average now on the league is up to 184. I did the math on that last night too, just because I was curious. And obviously that's to be expected because, oh my god, why is there an army? Oh my god, why is there an army of baby zombies? No! I hate fighting baby zombies in 1.9 combat. Jesus fucking Christ, why was there like 5 of them, dude? So, you know, all things considered with that, my averages for last night is still even like 17 pins higher than my new average counting last night's games into it. So, you know, it definitely was still a good night, and, you know, now that I'm done bowling, obviously, because it was last night, and I can look at it from like a calmer outside perspective now. Like it was a great night and nothing to be upset about at all. But I guess like I try, even though, as I mentioned, like I've never thrown a perfect game before. I've never thrown a 300, and the closest that I've ever come is the front 7. Like, I tried to be as perfect as possible, because as I mentioned earlier, like, I know what I'm capable of doing, and then if I'm not able to, you know, like, perform to that level, I get really mad at myself. And, like, I feel like that's a double-edged sword for me in a lot of ways, because at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. No matter how good we are at something or how much we practice something or whatever the case may be, nobody is perfect. And nobody should expect themselves to be perfect either. And I'm not necessarily saying that I do, but at the same time I do. But, you know, enough about me rambling about bowling, though. That literally was like a whole 30-minute... Well, maybe not 30 minutes, because I did do a quick little catch-up on where I've been and everything. And does this actually go into a mine shaft, or is it just going to go into a wall and then call it a day? So it's still probably... It was still probably a 20-minute long rant, though, just about bowling and me and my feelings towards myself when it comes to bowling, so... Let me switch gears here. Because I'm sure nobody wants to hear about me bowling and all that. But we found another mine shaft. That's kind of cool. Check this out. But yeah. I am excited though, guys, because as I mentioned, we are getting close to Minecraft Generations happening. I believe this will be episode 194. So, we only got like 6 videos left of this season, and we got, which means we're at the midway point, if you want to quote unquote call it that, of the end game, because we'll have 2 more videos after this, 156 or 195 and 156, Jesus Christ, 195 and 196 and 197. So there's 3 actually of the cave exploration. And then 198, 199, and 200, obviously the last 3 videos of the season, will be, you know, Ender Dragon Wither Boss, or End City Wither Boss beacon ending the game. So, if you want to look at it that way, we've reached the midway point of the end game, to where there's now just, you know, there's 3 even videos left on what is left for us to do in this season, which is so crazy to say that out loud, and especially to put it in that way that I have just put it. But also, at the end of the day, it's true. But it's also exciting, because that means Minecraft Generations is almost here, and I cannot wait for that. I am gonna miss my waystones, you know what I mean? Like, the waystones are so freaking lit, and I'm gonna miss them dearly, but also at the end of the day, like, it's gonna be really cool to go back and experience Minecraft, like, how it was back in the day. And, you know, once I get to, you know, 1.5, 1.6, when I started playing, you know, get back and relive those memories again. I so wish, and it breaks my heart still to this day, that I'll never get to play my first Minecraft world again. Because I loved that world so freaking much. It is unreal. Like, I'm not a builder guy by any means necessary, and I never have been. But I absolutely loved what I did with my base in that season. It was pretty basic. I'm not going to lie. Like, you guys probably would say it wasn't even all that for me to be all, like, nostalgia and, like, all tripping about it and everything. But for me not being a builder guy, and for it also being my first time ever playing the game, I thought it was pretty freaking cool. And I loved the area that I was in. Like, it was a perfect looking area, like, with a little lake right at the foot of a mountain, and it was like a sheer mountain face that I could, you know, and I had a ladder built up to the front door of my house from, you know, down at the water level and everything. And there was this giant mountain in the backdrop, maybe like probably a chunk away, so like definitely easily in view. You know, granted, I did go into creative for this part. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I did go into creative for this part, but just because of how tall it was. But I turned the whole mountain into like a mining facility. It was like, so I flew up to the top of it and made like a box out of cobblestone. That's obviously why I needed the creative, because I had to fly to the top of it. Because it was big ass mountain. But you know, I didn't really use creative much in that world. Like, I think that was really the only time I actually used creative, for anything like real in that game, or in that world rather, was just purely to make that mining facility. But I was so proud of that damn mining facility, guys. It was so freaking cool to me. And like, I had my farms and stuff on top of my base. And I made like a little hut for like an enchant area on top of my base as well. Then I dug like a little underground and I made a storage area. I built a nether portal room. And then from the nether portal room, I dug a little tunnel to the lake in front of my base. And then with glowstone and glass, I made like a little underwater fort under there. And then one day I just started strip mining in my mining facility, and I just went for a long freaking ways away. And then after a while I was like, you know what? Let's dig up. Let's go to the surface and see what's up there. So I did. And then I built like a little, a little base camp there and everything. I built a new house. And it was kind of cool and everything. I miss that world, guys. I really do. That world was so cool to me. And I know I put it on a flash drive. Maybe that doesn't matter. And I don't mean just the world. I mean my .minecraft folder. But because once like 1.8 hit, my laptop that I had would not run Minecraft anymore. Like, it, even with Optifine, it lagged something fierce. Like, it was not having Minecraft, guys. So obviously, I kind of had to stop playing, right? And eventually, like, my dad's computer broke, and I didn't really need my computer anymore. So I let him have my computer. So obviously, I cleared everything off of it, right, before I gave it to him. That was a nice little mine shaft, nice, quick, and easy. But I put my .minecraft folder onto a flash drive so that once I got myself a new laptop, I'd be able to, get my world and stuff back. But to this day, I have no freaking idea what happened to that flash drive. Either that, or I didn't actually transfer it like I thought I did, and it just became lost to the ether. But either way, really depressing that I don't have that world anymore, because that was something special to me for a multitude of reasons. Oh yeah, and another thing I did was on the outside, like to the right side of my base, when you're looking at it from the front, I made myself like a little deck patio, like little walkout area thing. Put some chairs out there for when I had friends over and stuff. Obviously, single player world, so that's not really a thing, but you guys catch my drift. Oh! There's no freaking way I ended up back here, bro. Unless I did that on purpose. Maybe I did it on purpose. I don't know. But that's crazy. And then I made another little longer deck area. Oh, goodness. I'm so sorry, guys. I made another little longer deck area after that as well for fishing and stuff, which was kind of cool. Yeah, I loved that first world, guys. That world was so good, but I do think, though, since we are here and we've looped around everything, I think it's a great place to wrap this part up. So, in the next episode, I think we're finally going to dig into this water cave. I think that'll be what we do next episode. I'm going to go home, obviously, get all my inventory straightened around to where it needs to be and whatnot. But then I think we're gonna go into this water cave finally, because it's been sitting here for forever, and we'll see what cool stuff we can find in there. So, if you guys did enjoy this episode, please leave a like down below. I'd greatly appreciate that, and click that subscribe button if you guys are new. And don't forget to click that little notification bell so you guys do get notified next time videos do go live on the channel. And with that, I will see you guys on my next episode. See you later, guys.